Peter has a habit of bringing lots of extra people to dinner. And, you know, there's always plenty. Oh, yeah, my name's Mary. Yeah, I know, there's lots of Marys. I'm Lazarus and Martha's sister. That's the Mary I am. Well, I guess you heard of me. I don't know if it's good or bad what you heard of me, but I'd like to tell you my story. I was quite a rebel when I was a kid, and then as I got a little older and people told me I was beautiful, I started getting a little more rebellious. And then when Simon, the Pharisee, started paying attention to me, wow, I was so flattered. I just did whatever he said, and that wasn't too good. Because he got carried away, and his folks found out, and he cast me aside. Just threw me out. So I ran away from home. And I found pretty few, that's a funny way to say it. I found quite a few questionable ways to make a living. And it went from bad to worse. And as time went on, I felt more and more guilty. I was pretty much a mess. I came from a good Jewish family. What would they think if they saw me? So I stayed away from home. Not so bad, but pretty soon, I didn't even know what I was doing. People said I was crazy. I just knew that I was miserable. I was not happy at all. Good looks didn't count anymore. And then, I heard about somebody else who had just as much trouble as me. His name was Sam. Sam had been really, really wicked too. And he was sick from all those things he'd done. So sick that he couldn't even walk anymore. He was laying on his bed one day, just feeling discouraged. His friends came. Believe it or not, he still had friends. His friends came and said, have you heard about that man out there who's healing people? I'll bet you he could heal you. Now when Sam told me this story, I thought, yeah, something must have happened, because when you're talking to me right now, you're not laying in your bed, so something must have happened. Tell me the story, Sam. Sam said, well, my friends told me about Jesus. They said he even heals lepers. I said, whoa, lepers? You're not even supposed to talk to lepers. Yeah, he touches them and heals them. Wow. Well, tell me your story, Sam. Well, my friend said, come on with us, pal. Oh yeah, we'll carry you. Don't worry. Come with us. We know where Jesus is. We'll take you to him. Now, Sam was so discouraged. He didn't really care if he got healed or not. He just wanted forgiveness for his sins. So he said, okay, take me to him. When they got to the house where Jesus was, it was full, crowded, crammed, and they couldn't get in. Sam said, he's right there on the other side of the door. Just push your way through. And his friend said, well, it was just one of us. We could, but there's 5 of us here and you're on a bed. We can't get through that door with all those people stopping us. So Sam looked around and he said, take me on the roof. Let's try it up there. So they took him up on the roof, and they knew that Sam was not going to give up. So they opened up a hole in the roof and let him down through the hole right at the feet of Jesus. Now that's kind of crazy. But wait a minute, it gets crazier. Jesus looked at Sam and said, "Son, your sins are forgiven." Oh, such a load off. He just laid back on his bed, just content and happy. But there were some other people in that room who weren't very happy. They said, "What? Only God can forgive sins. What's he talking about?" And Jesus turned to those people and he said, "Oh, what's easier to say? Your sins are forgiven, or get up and walk?" Those guys didn't say anything. So then Jesus turned to them and said, "So that you will know that the Son of Man can forgive sins." And then he turned to Sam and said, "Get up and walk and go home." And instantly he was healed. And he got up and he walked home. Whew. When I heard and saw what had happened to Sam, I wanted to meet Jesus too. I was such a mess. I couldn't stand myself. So I kept my ears open. But I didn't even have to go looking for him. Jesus wandered all over the place, all around the neighborhood, and I didn't even have to go looking for him because he came and found me. And he told me the same thing he told Sam. He said, "Mary, your sins are forgiven. Now I want you to go home and stop sinning." That sounds good. Wait a minute. Martha and Lazarus aren't going to let me come home. Forget that. And I went back to my wicked ways. I confess, I did. There was just no way that God could forgive me. I was such a mess. And I'm ashamed to say that Jesus had to come back and tell me the same thing again. And I said, "Oh, yeah. Get home."